I want to start in. I was watching your videos on Instagram.
Who's watching them?
Dude, you are hilarious. I just even say dude in interviews.
Yeah, somebody.
I'm watching these this morning when my son was at soccer camp, and I'm getting ready I'm looking at them, and I'm like, where is this Danny Garcia during fight week?
See, a lot of people don't understand is like, when I'm start losing weight, my personality goes away. So that's what happens. No lie. So it's like when I'm eating and I'm having fun and I'm living life, my personality is bright. But when I start losing weight, it kind of goes away. That's what a lot of people don't. I'm like two different people. I got like two different personalities.
So we're catching you at the right time right now, where you got a month to go, you're feeling good, looking good.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just who I am. I got my switch goes on and off.
I got to say, your dad's hopscotch game is pretty solid.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. I would say the video of me try to clip the open the lock with the bolt cutters. I don't know if you see. Oh my gosh,
that was fantastic.
Yeah, I said that's stronger than my relationship. That bolt lock.
You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that now. You can't be destroying relationships.
Yeah, I thought it would be easy, but it's hard to clip them bolt locks.
It's harder than people think. People don't understand. Like, it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely harder than fighting.
Another thing I want to say is, why didn't you get in? And I asked Ryan Garcia this the other day because I talked to him on Monday. Mm-hmm. Why didn't you get in with Errol Spence on that $20,000 bet at Romero and Tate?
Oh, they tried to get me in it, but I told them my money's safe in the bank.
Danny, that was pretty easy money in the bank. If we're going to be honest about it, did you really give Rolly that much of a chance over Tank or no?
Well, I like Rolly. I think he's a funny kid. I think he's entertaining, and I spoke to him before, so I didn't want to be the one betting against him. So I was just there. I was just neutral as a fan. You know what I mean? I just wanted to see a good fight, so I didn't want to. And plus, I'm not a gambler.
Man, you really didn't have to gamble on that one. You're a pretty astute boxing mind, my friend. You could.
It is boxing. You never know. You can't.
True.
You can't be too confident.
You coming up, the big return, July 30th, Barclays Center. The return is here. A lot of people wondering, you've been off since December of 2020.
Yeah.
What was the mind process of just being gone for so long? Was it just because so many hard wars throughout the years and you just wanted that time, spend time with the family, or battle of injuries, a little bit of both? What was the reasoning for deciding to be out for so long?
You said it all. It was a little bit of everything. Needing my body to rest. I did have a few injuries. I wanted my body to feel fresh. Mentally, I felt like I just needed a break. Mentally, I felt like I said, boxing's all mental.
Yeah.
So you got to be mentally sharp and mentally ready. And if you're feeling tired, then I don't care how much you're in shape, you're not going to perform the way you want to. So it was a little bit of everything. I went to rest, let my body rest, spend time with the family, and just give myself some time to miss boxing. And when you miss it, you come back, you just feel even better.
When was the last time you took that much time away from boxing?
I never been a year and a half, but I've been a year off. After I fought Thurman, I took a year off. Right. And I believe I took a year off, almost a year off after I beat Guerrero, I believe. I may be wrong, but I had 2 1-year layoffs before.
Year and a half?
Longest
layoff. Yeah. Because you talked about the mental part. How much did that loss to Errol weigh on you mentally? Because watching that fight over, that wasn't the Danny Garcia we had seen up to that point.
Yeah. I would have to admit I was a little bit mentally tired. It was a crazy year for me. The pandemic. I fought before the pandemic, training through the pandemic. And it was just a lot going on. It was just a lot going on. So I feel like I was a little bit mentally tired. And I think that showed in the fight. Physically, I was there. I was able to, go to 12 rounds and we scrapped it out and all that stuff. But I feel like I wasn't able to do the things that I usually do just because I was a little bit mentally tired. And that's when I knew that I kind of need to take a break. You know, I've been boxing for a long time, and this is all mental, and you got to listen to your body. And I feel like I listened to my body. I give myself some time to miss boxing, feel mentally sharp, feel good. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you gotta feel good. You gotta feel good
Yeah.
before you run. You gotta feel good when you're going to the gym. You don't want to feel like, I got another day. You know, you just make yourself do it. And I feel like that's how I feel now. I feel like I feel good when I'm going to the gym. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to push myself. I'm ready to run. I'm ready to challenge myself. And that's how you gotta feel. And that's how I feel now.
Do you regret taking that fight when you did, and wish you would have taken that time off before that fight? Or do you feel like, you took the fight and you got, like you said, you got through and then you moved on? But is there any regret at all at taking that fight when you did?
I don't regret it. You know why? Because it was a good fight. You know, he's a great champion. I'm a great champion. And sometimes you got to test yourself. You're not always gonna feel good.
Yeah.
You're not always gonna be at your best. But sometimes you can have a great camp, wake up and don't feel good the day of the fight. Some days you can have a terrible camp and feel great.
Yeah.
When the bell rings. So you just never know. But like I said before, everything happens for a reason. My career, and it is what it is. You just got to learn and build from it.
And now the return, 154 pounds. I think a lot of people were expecting this move. It just seemed like that was, and you had talked about it a little bit in the past as well. And what went fully behind the decision to be like, you know what, let's make the move now instead of doing it later on? What was the decision process with you and your dad of like, the time is now to make this move?
I feel like, I was the champion at 140, 147. And, I feel like at this part of my career, I don't want to strain my body losing weight. I think that's actually going to hurt me than make me better. So I feel like we gotta be happier. We gotta be more comfortable, so we can work on the things we want to work on. And I want to feel good. I don't want to put that strain on my body losing. We still gotta lose weight. Don't get me wrong, but we don't have to lose that extra weight where you look like a skeleton during weigh-in. So now we're gonna look like we got some muscle. We're gonna feel good.
So we're gonna see you playing hopscotch then during fight week because you won't have to cut so much weight, my friend.
Yeah, maybe not.
How would you view your career at welterweight? Because it seemed like you were a champion, but every time it came, whether it was Keith or whether it was, the fight with Errol, it was just, you couldn't kick it into that another gear. How would you view your career at welterweight?
I feel like it was still great. You have fighters like Duran. He lost to Leonard. He lost to Hagler. He lost to Hearn. So I'm not the only great fighter who lost to other champions. They Manny Pacquiao lost to other welterweights. Oscar De La Hoya lost to other welterweights. Trinidad. So it's just when you fight the best, that's what can happen. So at the end of the day, those the Thurman fight was a close fight that I thought I won. A lot of people thought I won. A lot of people thought he won. So it is what it is. It was a great fight, and we're here now. So
why Jose Benavides Jr.? Another guy like you fought at welterweight, fought Terrence Crawford. What was the decision behind Jose being that first opponent at 154?
They just they bring their names to me. I don't choose them. They say you want to fight this guy? Why not? Let's do it. So like I said, I told my opponents. They bring them to me and we just say yes or no. We're just happy to fight.
Man, you tell me at this stage of your career, you don't pick your opponents at all?
Well, I mean, that was the first name given to me, so I took it.
Awesome. Yeah. I didn't even know that. No, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
How do you view 154 right now? You got Charlo is undisputed, a whole bunch of mandatories that he's got to get through before we can even talk about you jumping into title contention. Yeah. What do you make of the scene right now at 154?
Well, I mean, it's Charlo's the champion, and then you got some veterans in there who's been around. They all been mixing it up. and then you got some young guys in there who's trying to prove themselves. So it's definitely a good weight class, and it's like I said, it's some young fighters trying to prove themselves, some vets, and right now Charles the champion. So it's definitely an interesting weight class.
Who beyond Charlo, who's the one or two guys that really stand out to you?
At 154, stand out to me. I would probably say it's a good one. You got the tall young kid, Fundora.
Fedora,
He looks like he's big for that weight class, and he's looking good. He's coming off a good win. And then you got the veterans like Tony Harrison, and then you got still Brian Castano. So those are probably I would say the behind Charlo. Those are good 154 fighters.
A couple more questions, Danny, and thank you so much for the time today. It's really appreciated. And how many fights do you feel like it's going to take for you to get acclimated to a new weight class?
It shouldn't take long because I've always been a bigger guy, losing weight. I always used to spar bigger guys and stuff like that. So right now we're just taking it one fight at a time, and we're in the gym working and building ourselves up.
How many fights do you realistically feel like you're gonna need to be able to get to the title shot? Because like we said, there's a whole bunch of mandatories. It seems like they're coming up unless the titles get chopped up and then they get vacated. Right. How many do you feel like will be necessary then for you to get a title shot?
To be honest, I don't know, because boxing changes so quick.
Yeah, unfortunately.
The scenery changes quick. One fight, the guy can have all the belts. The next, another guy have all the belts who are, like you said, vacated or mandatories and vacant belts. So we just got to sit back and wait and see, and just take them one fight at a time.
There's too many belts in boxing. Let's just be honest about it.
Well, I don't know, man.
Too many. There's like 15 belts in a weight class. It's like you got WBA regular and WBC silver, intercontinental, and
so I don't know. I mean, I don't make the belt, so my job is to fight. So I really don't worry about other stuff.
They like taking your money, man. If someone's telling me you gotta take my money to fight for a belt,
hey, that's see that's the fans glorify the belts.
That's true.
I feel like belts more than they glorify great fights. So if they just love the great fight and they promote a great fight better, then like to me, a fighter, a star fighter makes a belt. There's a lot of champions, but people don't care that they have belts. You know what I mean? So what makes a world title? What gives a world title? Is the names, is the superstars when they hold the belt. And that's what makes a belt. So fighters make belts. And I feel like whoever's the star or the big name in boxing or whoever earned it, he's the champion. Because there's some fighters who don't even need a belt and they're champions to the people. So it's all about how they look at you.
And we'll end with this. What can fans expect in the big return of Danny Garcia coming up on July 30th from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, live and only on Showtime?
You expect the Danny Garcia show. We're back in Brooklyn. I'm going there and give my fans a great show, and I can't wait.
It's been too long, Mr. Garcia. It's been almost 20 months since we've chatted. It's been good to get you back on the line. Thank you so much today, Danny. It means a lot. The best of luck July 30th, and let's see some more awesome Danny Garcia Instagram videos.
I will, for sure. I'll try my best.
All right, bud. Talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.